Oh wow. Well, how about I had played the intro and I thought that we was live. I thought we was live, but y'all hold on because I wanted to show y'all something. Y'all got to see this. Alrighty. There we go. There we go. So let's go ahead and turn that music down. All right. This, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be um the POTUS and the VPOTUS of the United States. Okay. Mm, hold on. Now, y'all know that the world is changing, baby. And we got two women that are running together for the seat of POTUS. And when I tell you this is some serious DEI here, this some serious DEI. Oh wow. So hold on y'all, cause I'm also trying to get my thing. I'm trying to watch up. Okay. That's the kind of workout. Oh boy. Hopefully. Hopefully something charged. I put both of my headphones on the charger. Wanna act like they wanna act like it in charge. Alright. Okay. Thank you, CP, for sharing me out. Alright. So let me let's let's get our sound connected. Audio. Alright. We should be connected. It's chopping. Hold on. Where the thing at? Am I still choppy? If I am choppy, hold on. Let me go into YouTube. Alrighty. Presidential. Let me just stop. We just go to the channel. Live with Miss Queen Scientist. Alright, let me see. Let's see what we sound like. I don't hear nothing. Alright, let me see. Oh, there you go. Okay. So we sound good. All right, so y'all, we finna to talk about it, baby. Y'all see, we got two women running for the highest seat in the land. Okay, let me show this out. Okay, and I was trying to do all of this while I had the timer running, but I had the timer running, but I didn't I wasn't live, so you know that defeated the whole purpose, right? Okay. What's next? What's next? What's next? What's next? What's next? Okay, so let's talk about these um political candidates we got here, right? We're gonna share this out and we're gonna oh hold on. Let me switch accounts. Okay. We're gonna go over here. Boom. And pretty funky. We're gonna share this. This crazy. Yeah, post. Check this out. Alright. So let's look at these women that are running for office. Okay, so we're gonna go. What y'all are currently looking at is the website for Jasmine Sherman. That's her name. Okay, so it says Jasmine Sherman 2024. We got Jasmine Sherman and Tanda Blubear. Okay. So Bluebear is going to be her running mate. Bluebear is running with her for Vice. Okay. So we're gonna find out a little bit more about these people because I'm intrigued. Okay. I'm intrigued that two women done teamed up and said we're gonna do this. I'm also intrigued with the fact that they are part of the top two most oppressed, historically oppressed group in the United States. Okay, I am very curious as to what is going on here, what they talking about, what they gonna be about, and all of those things. Okay, so let's have a look. I'm like, well, while I'm looking, I might as well share it with y'all. Okay, so um, I will drop the link in the chat. Or at least I'm gonna try to. I don't make no promises right now. I'm trying to just push the content out and get stuff done. You know, I'm trying to streamline the thing, so y'all gotta bear with me. But until I get out the shower, y'all just gonna look at them, okay? Now, so first, under there it says the policies. All right, so that's the first thing they have on their website. If you properly go to a website, right? Is the policies. It says inform your opinion before you form it. Okay? So it says Jasmine Sherman wants to help the at-risk and vulnerable communities by providing guaranteed housing, land-back, universal basic income, free education, and universal health care for all. They also believe in the rights of the child, the rights to gender affirming care, ending the disability restrictions, restorative justice, abolishing the police, abolishing prisons, top bottom line accountability for corporations, reparations, a progressive tax, an index living wage, immigration policy reform, sustainable energy, decriminalizing all drugs and sex work, age caps, and term limits for all elected officials, and rewriting the Constitution. Baby, look, that's a whole lot. That's a whole lot, okay? But let's keep going. First up is abolish the police policy, okay? Abolish the police policy, okay? Now, oh, we can have this read to us, so let's do that. Is he doing it? Is he playing?
When a person makes any mistake, America's focus is on punishing that person rather than solving
Can y'all hear that?
its cause. The American justice system is not broken. It is functioning exactly as intended since its inception to catch runaway slaves. The US police force has been intentionally and consistently oppressive within a system that has proven to be legally corrupt. Cops have acted as judge, jury, executioner when they should de-escalating fraud situations, and promoting the overall safety and well-being of the community they serve. Excessive force and corruption. The United States has the highest number of police shootings of any developed country, with an average of approximately 1,000 people killed annually by police officers, which disproportionately impacts BIPOC communities nationwide. Law enforcement and correctional officers are unable to protect and serve affected communities. Attempts to phase out archaic ideologies within police academies and justice education have proven ineffective, as the outdated mentality and protocols of these methods are deeply entrenched and interwoven within the judicial system across our nation, stunting any potential for progress and reform. With more protections for the corrupt system than the whistleblowing officer, confidence in our justice system continues to diminish, causing hesitation to call authorities for help. Nearly half of law enforcement officers believe that always following the rules is not compatible with the need to get their job done. Disturbing yet unsurprising, 84% of surveyed officers have witnessed excessive force by a fellow officer, and over half admitted to not always reporting observed misconduct. There are few plans to reconcile and reform the obvious issues ingrained within our justice system, and virtually zero accountability for the misconduct of those working within the crumbling structure. There is loyal preservation of the law enforcement fraternity, and they cannot be trusted to govern themselves. Far too often, officers that report the misconduct face consequences instead of the perpetrators positioned within the organisation. Internal investigations rarely result in charges being raised against offending officers. If officers that report complaints have been fired, have had to relocate to avoid harassment, and have been put into dangerous situations resulting in their death. In recent years, the highlighting of police brutality merely scrapes the surface of the inadequacies that make up America's justice system. Problems throughout the criminal justice system can be reduced to three contributing factors. One, inconsistency. Two, the lack of accountability and transparency. And three, systemic racism. Ineffectiveness. According to the most recent federal justice statistic report, there were over 63,000 new incarcerations, of which only 3% were for violent offences. This is an adequate indication of the misguided priorities of punishment, mass incarceration, and constitutional slave labour within our justice system. The simultaneous increase in funding and decrease in clearance rates suggests alternative solutions which reduce crime and increase public safety are more viable than previously believed. Of course, there are exceptions and heroes, but when you look at the indisputable statistics alongside the relationship between law enforcement and the communities they're supposed to serve, more harm than good is being done. When the justice system fails one of us, it fails all of us. We will no longer accept excuses and inaction. Now is the time for a significant overhaul of how we view and implement justice.
Functions in 2024.
The United States justice system prioritizes punishment and revenge,
Okay.
restitution, and rehabilitation.
So
Of course, there needs to be.
I don't know. I'm a little confused. I don't know what she plan on putting in place of the police. Okay, so let me scroll down and look. It says justice should never be revenged. Alright. It says ineffectiveness. Talking about 3% incarceration. So for all those trigger words, there are hyperlinks there to do more research on those. Okay. All right. It says it violates people's rights. A variety of factors contribute to recidivism. This reoffending rates. Okay. Oh, there was a lot. Oh my goodness. Wait a minute. So what was read to us is not all that is written. This is a lot. Okay, let's see. Um, our modernized community safety task forces are devoted to the safety and collective well-being of people. These community-based task force units will work to de-escalate dangerous situations with proper training and resources while they promote safety, stability, and community. In all cases, non-military community service will be more beneficial than police. We are investing in an obligatory public resources and enabling citizens to govern themselves as we change. Okay, so what happens when we got a fool on our hands? Okay, so the type of task force, right? The type of task force, medical, traffic access safety nights or tasks, forensic psychology. This is for when children or abuse is involved. Data analysis, IRS, evacuation teams, community task force, civilian oversight board, judiciary assistance navigation team, and dispatch. Okay, so with every call that is made, there is an investigator and a social worker. All right. The mandated training will be basic education, de-escalation, safety, and then an apprenticeship. The tools or resources that will be available are language and translators, all right, and legal guidance and representation before, during, and after mediation. So, what is the task? What is it? The traffic access safety nights. What is it? Responsive team to manage traffic related disputes, collisions, and obstacles. Who? People who must live in the area where the incident occurred must have proper traffic safety certifications, and they must have basic CPR and first aid knowledge. Their functions are to respond to traffic incidents, maintain a safe driving experience for all drivers and passengers. How do they operate? By coordinating with a social worker and an investigator, they arrive at the scene in teams of 3 or more, and that's determined by the emergency response operator. They assess the situation when they get there to determine if any of the services are required. There's an incident report. They identify the conditions of the situation, the relevant details. They record the damage. They talk about the cause, the concerns, the risks. They determine the best course of action. They determine the use of safety equipment. They ensure safety of commuting traffic, efficient removal of obstructing or damaged vehicles. They have EMS on speed dial. They monitor and maintain control risk and control until risks are eliminated. And they help bring about a resolution by answering the questions of what caused this, was it preventable, what could prevent it. They give support to the victims and the victim and offender are connected with the proper services. There is dispatch. Dispatch is the community service contacted for emergency and non-emergency incidents. Who works in dispatch? A trained professional efficient in gathering vital, relevant information to determine the best suitable responders for each individual. Okay, so then we have a community task force. This is paid citizens from the community. Okay, so to be on the task force, you must live in the mailing zip code and district, and you must have successfully completed neighborhood watch training, CPR, first aid, and de-escalation training. You need to complete self-defense and disarm training as well. And you need to be a first responder. Your functions are anything you might call 911 for, de-escalating conflict, and non-emergency complaints. Operations are to contact social workers every time something happens before going to someone. Okay? It says do not approach scene without social workers. You got the triage with the social workers, okay? And you consult and engage, prioritize investigation of the situation to find out why the situation occurred. The social worker helps to create what is that? Preventative measures, and they monitor or follow up with whatever went on in the incident. Okay. Um, People in the house, with people on house arrest, they monitor them, they check in with the task force for resolution, they provide victim support, and they connect victims and offenders with the proper services. So then there is a civilian oversight board. What is it? It is a collaboration of community members who review, investigate, and hold CTFs accountable for a strict adherence to community standards of ethical conduct. Okay, so these is people that I guess they review everything that go on and all the decisions that are made. It says who is on the task force. This is volunteer based, and it is determined by community population and jurisdiction of the task force. The community must approve each individual. There is a minimum of 5 members and a maximum of 15. There is no minimum residency requirement. You have to be at least 16 years of age, and you got to live in the same zip code and mailing code as the task force that you're trying to apply to. You can't be affiliated with any members of the task force to avoid bias and nepotism. Relationship connections will be identified and acknowledged as public record. It says self-disclosure form submission for relatives and close personal relationships will be reviewed for accuracy by the community for approval. So they trying to make sure ain't no bias and stuff going on. All right. So it says questionable relations requires that members rescue, vote, or input specific review. So I don't know. This to me kind of sounds like the hey Lana Love, thanks for coming in. This kind of sound like kind of something similar to defund the police and stuff, but this seems a bit more intricate. It looks like a restructuring of what police look like. Um, so that's interesting. All right, so meet bi-weekly. Neighborhood platform. So a judiciary assistance navigation team. And what is that? A team that educates, prepares, and aids in the navigation and available resources in the justice system to enable clients, victims, and communities to get the most out of their experience and reach a successful resolution. So the people that's on the task force are social workers, legal experts, and law students. Okay, and they, do all the things. So problem, accidental death. The de-escalation management team shows up, EMS shows up, investigation shows up, social work shows up, the forensic psychologist shows up, and the psychologist and the medical examiner shows up. I don't know what COB is, but that's on there too, right? So for arson, the fire department, EMS, and investigation. And it lists all of these different things, and it tells who all is going to show up to these particular type of incidences. Now, order of operations. It says first, the call center receives notice of a situation and dispatch of proper task forces to the incident. Then the social worker comes with the appropriate task force. They assess the situation, gather information, and determine the best course of action. They take the best course of action, and the problem is solved. This ain't telling me what happened when you got a real live food on your hand. Like, who gonna take care of that situation? I think that was answered. I think that's supposed to be the people that's trained in self-defense and disarming. But I just want a real world conversation about this, because criminals don't want to be caught, and criminals ain't gonna stop being criminals. That's why we lock them up. And who gonna catch them? That's if we get rid of the police. I'm just saying. It looks like restructuring of um the the penal system as well. She's got a crime. So under crime, property crime, right, white collar crime, organized crime, consensual or victimless crimes. She got a first repercussion, second, third, and fourth. Okay, and each time, I guess the penalties get a little worse. All right, I'm gonna drop the link in the chat so y'all can look at this. I'm almost done. And y'all know, or y'all should. I probably heard the water start running. Excuse me, y'all. Um, she said, "Come on now, Faith. I'm just saying. I'm just wondering. You know." Now she said, at least in the thing they read to us, it said that they got data that shows that this works better than when the police show up, and I ain't necessarily mad at it. You know what I'm saying? Because the police is a problem. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't just they ain't just a problem for minority groups. You know what I'm saying? They be tearing up white people too. Okay, they be doing the most. So I do feel like the police they need to do something with it. But I don't know about this. I mean, resources is good. We do need resources. I don't know how I feel about it. All right. So there's a whole lot more under that. All right. So that's the abolish what you call it? I don't know. Abolish the police policy. There's a policy for abolishment of child marriage policy. I ain't know we could marry children. No. Or unless they saying like you can't even sign for your child to get married. Okay, so let's see. A child marriage is any marriage in which at least one spouse is under the age of 18. The marriage age is determined by each state, territory, federal district in the United States after accounting for exemptions. There is not a salutatory minimum age in 8 states as of July 2022. These states are Wyoming, Michigan, New Mexico, Oklahoma, West Virginia, and California. Child marriage has historically been a socially accepted practice. However, it is now widely seen as a form of child sexual abuse. Some international organizations, like the USA, the State Department, have deemed it a violation of human rights. According to research, there are harms associated to child marriages, including sexual assault, a decline in education, early pregnancies, and psychological stress for children involved. This is a grooming and traumatizing experience. Okay? It says between 2000 and 2018, nearly 300,000 minors were legally married in the U.S. These child marriages typically include a young girl and an older man in the USA. In many circumstances, adolescents in the U.S. can get married before they reach the state-specific age of sexual consent, which currently ranges from 16 to 18. Domestic abuse shelters often do not accept minors, and in some areas, minors cannot legally divorce or separate from their spouse. 7 states, including New Jersey, Delaware, Pennsylvania, Minnesota, Rhode Island, New York, and Massachusetts, have outright outlawed underage marriage as of July 2022. During this time, child marriage has also been abolished in U.S. territories of American Samoa and the U.S. Virgin Islands. Similar legislation is being considered in a number of other American states. This form of predatory and pedophilic behavior will no longer be legal or tolerated by the Sherman administration. This policy will be enforced federally and will not be allowed in any state. There will not be any exceptions for religious practices, and any violator will be held accountable per guidelines of the community they reside in. Please note, this sounds what was that, like the Hunger Games, and they had what they had. I don't know. They had them different separations of places. Okay. There will not be any exceptions for religious practices, and any violator will be held accountable per guidelines of the community they reside in. Please note, this is considered abuse, and this action will be held to our standard of justice. The barriers currently in place for minors to divorce or leave their abuser will be removed. Going forward, if you aren't eligible to vote or serve your country, you aren't able to get married. Well, there is that policy. Okay. Accessible equipment for service dogs. I don't care about that. Age gap policy. Age cap policy. What's an age cap? What is that? Age cap policy. We propose a comprehensive reform that addresses issues of both age and tenure in Congress. They about to get all them old farts out of Congress, baby. Hold on. Like, they look. Now, they might be speaking a language that I can get jiggy with right now, okay? Let me go ahead and get myself in some clothes real quick, because I think it's time that I get down to the computer, baby, and we get on with the get on, okay? Yeah, I think it's time that we get on with the get on and go ahead and get this show on the road properly, okay? Plus, I want to get this done so I can probably grab. I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to grab me a nap. I really want a nap. I'm tired. You know what I'm saying? But let me what's today? Wednesday. The color is orange. I don't feel like all that. Look, we just gonna throw a hair stress on, okay? We just gonna hair stress it up today. All right. Oh, you just gonna throw this on real quick, and that's how we gonna call it. Okay, that's how we gonna call it. I don't think I'm gonna do. Oh, I got to do the networking stream. That's gonna be around 4 though. So if I go ahead and go and knock this out, it's 12 now. If I can get done with this by 2, then I can grab me a quick nap before I make dinner and then get to the networking straight. Woo woo. All right, we working it. Like I put my dress on backwards. At least it feels like I did. No, I didn't. Okay, so I'm going down here to this computer so I can share with y'all what I'm looking at, so y'all don't just got to listen to my country ass tell y'all everything that's going on. Okay, because baby, let's get into it. Now this right here, I'm tired of all them old folks in Congress now. Like now, y'all gonna have to get y'all old behind on somewhere. Ain't nobody got time for this. Okay, so she kind of speaking my language in this area. So uh, let me uh let me get here. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Okay. Okay. We getting there. 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 All right. I got the keyboard and everything. Let's turn on the lights. All of the lights. Okay. All of the lights. How y'all Wednesday going? Hopefully y'all having a happy, productive Wednesday and y'all getting over that hump. Hump of the dump. Okay. All right. We got our lights. Now, let's mute. All right, so my mic shouldn't be muted anymore. And let's go over here and look at this. So it says about our platform in perspectives. Meet your president, meet your vice president. It's time to bring the people of the United States their basic needs. Everyone should have access to housing, healthcare, and education. You deserve better. Our campaign operates from the perspective that everyone's life and livelihood have value. It should be protected from exploitation. Read more about our specific, detailed, and heavily researched policies below. Okay, so we are looking at their greatest foreign policy issues is free Palestine, free the Congo, and free Sudan, and we can read more about foreign policy here. Right now, with the last thing that we was looking at least the last thing that I was showing y'all, where am I? Where am I? All right, the age cap policy. Okay. Now, it says, we propose a comprehensive reform that addresses the issue of both age and tenure in Congress. Firstly, we support an age cap of 65 for all public servants, ensuring that our legislative bodies remain diverse and representative of the American population. Capitol Hill is currently dominated by the baby boomer generation, which makes up nearly 70% of the incoming Congress, a demographic overrepresentation that does not reflect the true composition of our society. Secondly, we endorse Senator Ted Cruz's bill, a constitutional amendment that limits senators to serving no more than 2 6-year terms totaling 12 years, in order to prevent the entrenchment of lifelong politicians. We also advocate for similar term limits in the U.S. House with a maximum of 2 3-year terms. These limitations would ensure that members of Congress are accountable to the American people and prevent the consolidation of power by a select few. By implementing both age cap and term limits, we aim to strike a balance between the value, experience, and fresh perspective of our representatives bring to the table. This combination of policies will encourage a more dynamic, diverse, and responsive Congress that better serves the interests of all Americans. Term limits. U.S. senators are limited to serving a maximum of 2 6-year terms as proposed by Senator Ted Cruz's bill. Members of the U.S. House of Representatives are limited to serving a maximum of 3 2-year terms as proposed by Senator Ted Cruz's bill. Terms served by members prior to the enactment of this policy will count towards the proposed term limitation. Ooh, ain't even no grandfather there. Okay. Age cap. All public servants, including U.S. senators, U.S. representatives, and other government officials, are subject to an age cap of 65. No individual above the age of 65 can run for or hold public office. This age cap aims to address the concern of an aging Congress and promote greater age diversity within government. These combined policies aim to strike a balance between limiting the tenure of elected officials to prevent the entrenchment of political power and ensuring that public service remains accessible to individuals of various age groups, promoting diversity and fresh perspectives in government. So, I mean, I kind of agree with that myself. I feel like, um,
Video MOT because he said something to May.
oh, hold on.
And what MOT said to May, I response video to that because yeah, uh, yeah, because most things what MOT said except for one thing, and you know what? Let me go ahead and say anyway. Let me go ahead and say anyway. MOT wants to save the black manosphere, or save the black man from itself, or save the black manosphere.
Okay. Let me share that. Um, Sorry, y'all. I wanna. Okay, so I kind of agree because be Congress be old. These politicians be old. Like Donald Trump. I think Donald Trump in his 70s. Joe Biden, we is looking at this man sit up here with all this look like well he got dementia or something, and like no, okay, no, all right, we need something else. Okay, this too much. This ain't right. So I don't disagree with that policy. Let's see what other policies. She got a lot of policies up here. So we got agriculture policy. I might need to read that. We got anti-indoctrination policy. I don't know what that means. Not a COVID-19 policy. Okay, let's do this anti-indoctrination. I want to know what this is. She said, if a practice can't go on without discrimination and abuse, it should not exist. We must separate the abuse from healthy traditions and codify that into something that can be broadly applied. This policy alone will not end child predation, brainwashing, hazing, racism, anti-queerness, etc. But the primary goal is to remove a powerful tool used for all those things, indoctrination. To address something as massive and amorphous as indoctrination, you must first define it in real, actionable terms. Indoctrination is a word which gets thrown around and used incorrectly to shame people for their existence and make people afraid to educate others. Ironically, Shaming people for their existence and shunning educations are facets of indoctrination themselves. There are groups outside of religious organizations which indoctrinate. There are ways to practice religion without indoctrination. Religion gets used synonymously with Christianity, but we must also be conscientious of other religions, cultures, and practices. We are not trying to prevent anyone from sharing their culture with their children in a responsible and respectful way. We are not going to commit cultural genocide. What is indoctrination? Indoctrination is not the religious songs, fables, celebrations, and gifts which create an environment of indoctrination, but rather teaching these fables as a questionable truth. Children and adults, for that matter, must be allowed to question and explore their teachings. All children under Jasmine Sherman's administration will be taught actual science and history, including those who are homeschooled as per the education policy. In intentionally misteaching science and history or teaching it in such a way as to dismiss its relevance shall be considered indoctrination and prohibited under this policy. Oh, wow. Oh baby, I don't know about this here. I don't know about this here because you can't tell people how to raise their children. Okay? What? Wait, hold on. I don't know about this here. Okay, it says when given the freedom to ask questions and explore their environment, children who are able to speak and are otherwise communicate tend to be able to clearly communicate who they are and what they believe by the age of 6. Children who communicate a desire to explore their personhood in regards to beliefs and personal identity will be allowed to do so both with guidance and privately. Wait a minute, what? When given the freedom to ask questions and explore their environment, children who are able to speak and otherwise communicate tend to be able to clearly communicate who they are and what they believe by the age of 6. Okay. Children who communicate a desire to explore their personhood in regards to beliefs and personal identity will be allowed. Now you not fit to do nothing that I don't want you to do because I got to feed and clock. What are you talking about? Children under Jasmine Sherman's administration will be given the tools to advocate for their own autonomy. If they gonna advocate for their own meals that they gonna eat too, what you talking? You gonna give them away to feed and clothe themselves too? Forcing a child to participate in rituals or traditions they do not want to shall be considered indoctrination and prohibited under this policy. Children too young to communicate their beliefs and too young to communicate whether or not they want to be involved in a tradition or too young to consent to that tradition. Wow! What? What? Children who want to participate in age-appropriate traditions such as studies, stories, songs, dances, crafts, meals, performances, gift giving, and games will, of course, be allowed to. However, adults do not have the right to force children into these traditions. Children must be included in traditions with adult themes, must not be included in traditions with adult themes such as taking drugs, drinking alcohol, including communion involving alcohol, having or observing sex being sexualized, including child beauty pageants, ritualized nudity, and receiving or witnessing unnecessary body modification, including infant circumcision. Body modification on children is not for the child, it is for the adults. Adults will no longer participate in a tradition of doing cosmetic surgery on babies. If the child wants it when they're older, they can get it done when they can consent. Forcing adult things upon children in this way is not only indoctrination but also child abuse. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I mean, I agree, and then I don't agree. So don't know. I don't know. What y'all think? Let me check the comments. Like which said the second way. You know what I'm talking about, Lana? Then I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. What talking about, lady? What talking about? You said I can agree with that part. Yeah, I do agree. You know, I prefer. Look, I don't know how I feel about the circumcision thing because, like, not getting circumcised can cause a whole lot of problems for women because there is a level of cleanliness that look, people be having a problem with they circumcised stuff. Okay, you talking about peeling some skin back and all that, and then it takes longer to recover as a older man rather than as a child. So I don't know, but it is an organization of men that feel some type of way that they got circumcised. So I don't know. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know about this kind of crazy, right? But okay, so what is this? Prophesying. Okay. Prophesying or trying to convert people to your beliefs. Oh my goodness. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. That means no more Jehovah Witnesses. Okay. They coming for y'all, Jehovah Witnesses. Okay. It says prophesying or trying to convert people to your beliefs may only be done to consenting adults. Children cannot give consent and should never be prophesied to. This includes referring to learning cultural traditions in school, i.e. Sunday school. Oh, so Sunday school can't be Sunday school no more. Ooh, wee. Calling religious fables school is intentional deception meant to trick children into thinking they are hearing facts and not metaphoric stories. Oh my God. Teaching facts is not prophesying because facts are not beliefs. And the teaching of facts will not be considered indoctrination. Telling folklore and fiction stories is not indoctrination. As long as it is clear that it is just a story which may have a message but is not literal history. Any school or camp found prophesying is a religious organization guilty of prophesying to children and will be subject to judicial dissolution, including conversion therapy camps. Oh my God, y'all, this is crazy. This is crazy. Okay, look, because it's a whole lot. Let's get to the conclusion. Let me drop her link into the chat. You know what I'm talking about. And if y'all want to go over her and have an in-depth look with any of these things, y'all can feel free to go over here and look. We just go overview, what she's sitting up here talking about. She said a lot of science is theory and they will stop teaching those as well. Baby, look, this. Woo! Look. Okay. It said, what is the answer? It says all churches, corporations, community organizations, schools, media outlets, and any inhuman entities which are found indoctrinating will be subject to judicial dissolution. Any individuals accused of indoctrination will be handled by their community task force as outlined in the restorative justice policy. Amen. Look, this sound like some Hunger Games meets the y'all remember that Handmaid's Tale. Y'all, this is crazy. Okay. Let's see. Agriculture, let's see what the agriculture policy is. Our world is increasingly vulnerable to environmental collapse. To ensure continued abundance in natural resources, we as a country must prioritize sustainable cultivation and natural conservation. Plant cultivation. One stressor on the natural environment is excessive imbalance caused by large concentration of unfixed nitrogen, usually brought on by fertilizer, which can cause an imbalance in the soil micro microbe. I can't say that word right now, y'all. By killing off beneficial bacteria or cause aquatic dead zones downstream. With low quality soil and fewer fish in local bays and lakes, each season will be more difficult to draw a yield from, slowly sinking our nation into a barren state of starvation. Plant waste should be composted to increase soil fertility and reduce nutrient waste. All right. So, water usage is also much higher than necessary. Non-native plants often require more water than the local climate can provide, prompting farmers to irrigate their crops, thus decreasing functional diversity of the soil and wasting water in the process. Irrigation should be low power and work beneficially with the watershed, within the watershed. Okay. So, how do we feed our people while maintaining a balanced ecosystem and reversing our contribution to the climate crisis? The opposite of monoculture is polyculture. This method of cultivation is best implemented via permaculture principle. Permaculture, although the term itself was coined in the 1970s, is a science we can attribute to many indigenous societies across the world. An example is the prescribed burnings of underbush to rejuvenate the soil and prevent wildfires, used by the Chumash, York, Yaruk, Hoopa, and Miwok tribes of Turtle Island for over 13,000 years. Indigenous knowledge has an important place in ecology science. One important part of permaculture farming is effective companion planting. The practice of growing certain crops near each other and keeping others separated so that they all thrive. Companion plants trade nutrients, feed off each other's strengths and weaknesses for mutual benefit and an abundant harvest. Because these crops form a symbiotic trade of nutrients, the soil requires less amendments and remains fertile for longer. There are also many ways to leverage companion planting plants to minimize the impact of pests, weeds, and disease. Another benefit of permaculture farming, when done on a larger scale, is more efficient use of resources. We can save water via the use of vertical farming, which does have its limitations. An alternative is native plants. We can limit or completely eliminate the use of fertilizers and pesticides and still have a large, healthy harvest. Animal agriculture. Animals are sentient beings that deserve to be treated humanely and adequately cared for. Animals should not be confined, operated on without anesthesia, or forcibly inseminated. Animals are frequently neglected in healthcare, diet, social conditions, and environmental conditions. Animals thrive in an environment that meets not only their physical but psychological needs. Not only are their current practices harmful to animals, they're harmful to humans too. Hormonally induced lactation produces milk that can increase the risk of cancer in people who consume it. The overuse of antibiotics create a public health risk for the general population. Animals that are provided a generous roaming space and diverse feed grow into higher quality products that are safer and healthier for people to consume. Some animals are more or less environmentally sustainable to raise and reproduce. With cows leading in emissions, we benefit by favoring smaller animals, i.e., goats, chickens, turkeys, with less spatial requirements, as well as lower greenhouse gas emissions. It is also important as resources to become more scarce to use every part of an animal once it has been slaughtered. Food distribution. Currently, food distribution systems tend toward longer delivery distance, inequitable distribution, which causes food deserts and extreme amounts of waste. This campaign plans to empower communities to support themselves via government funded community and home garden farms. Hey, I can dig the home garden farm, okay? Learn more about our seed program, which is already in operation here. Okay, I'm gonna need that for myself. So let me go ahead and grab that. Open that in a new tab, send me back. Everyone deserves to have access to local, sustainable, high quality, and safe foods. All right, and then there is a whole lot of stuff there. Okay, so agriculture, let's see, anti-indoctrination, we did this. Conventional rights of children policy. See, this stuff right here, I don't be knowing. You ain't got no rights until you turn 18, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, you got the right to do what you told, right? The adults have to follow the law. Like, don't abuse your kids. But like, what are you talking about? Children rights? What is we talking about here? What is we saying? I guess we finna find out, huh? Let's see. Um, she says, in recent years, we have observed an increase in more communicative and supporting parenting techniques that allow children to better process their needs and emotions. The phenomenon that is gentle parenting is becoming a more widespread practice as newer generations dissect the advantages of having more thoughtful and capable individuals. Gentle parenting is a parenting approach that encourages a partnership between you and your child to make choices based on an internal willingness instead of external pressures. The parenting style removes corporal punishment for emotional support and accountability. Though traditionally, as a society, we have justified the use of actions like caning and spanking as a discipline for children, the facts suggest that this doesn't lead to a more capable adult, corporal punishment. Six, the premise surrounding the having of children is for the future of our nations. Doing everything in our power to ensure the progress and maintenance of this country is paramount. This will mean that for the past few centuries, we have been inhibiting our overall growth and development as a society due to not applying humanity in our parenting and education. Considering children, the future humans meant to foster our ever developing society, we would like to extend them the kindness of learning in a healthy manner, the home and in the school. The conventional rights of the child is that they are learning human beings and deserve to be treated with respect. I don't know what that means, but this sounds real close to we gonna tell you how you can and cannot raise your children. Okay, so what else she got up here? COVID-19 policy, death with dignity, death penalty policy, decriminalization of drug use and possession policy, decriminalized sex work policy, disability policy, education policy, environment infrastructure policy, firearm education policy. I might want to look at that one. Foster care and adoption policy, foreign policy, guaranteed housing policy. Ooh, look. She got a lot of policies up here. We ain't gonna get through all these policies today, baby. Okay, we got transgender rights and protections policy, universal basic income policy, universal health care policy, triple bottom line accounting policy, tax policy and plan, rights for sentient beings policy, reparations policy, land back policy, public utility conversion policy, immigration reform policy. You got a lot of policies over here. So let's see. It say meet your president. Let's find out who Jasmine Sullivan is. So we don't look at some of their policies. I mean, about 50-50, you know. All right, so it's not doing it. Let's do it. All right. Jasmine Sherman. It says where I come from. It says Sherman is native to New York. They were born Jasmine Sherman to parents Amanda and Thomas, the first of two children. Their parents worked labor and customer service jobs. Jasmine graduated from Northbridge High School in 2003. They earned a Bachelor's of Arts degree in business from the University of Phoenix. They have a master's degree in finance from the University of Phoenix. See, this is the problem, okay? I ain't gonna say it's the problem. It's just a little bit weird for me. These younger generation and these damn pronouns. Girl, why is this day? Okay, look, I was born in 1983, ma'am. You is not a day. Day is plural. It means more than one. Now, I mean, I think y'all got this thing where y'all is one more than one. I don't know what y'all got going on, but okay. So we can clearly see that there is a lot of diversity and inclusion in her being. Okay, we'll say that. All right, a thriving career. It says Jasmine Sherman is currently executive director of Greater Immediate Housing Relief in Mecklenburg County, North Carolina. They experienced poverty in the foster care system firsthand. Jasmine put themselves through school and has since experienced the world living abroad. They returned to the U.S. determined to make a difference, and with both knowledge and experience of both benefits and pitfalls of other systems, they combined their passion for social justice with their audacious attitude to create a new political party, the Unicorn Party. Okay, y'all see it? That's why it's a unicorn on the thumbnail, because this is the Unicorn Party. I think I can jump out there and just say that the Unicorn Party is a social party. So a whole lot of people are, oh, socialism is communism and all the ism conversations gonna come out. But I'm just letting y'all know it's some whole diversity women sitting up here on the ballot for 2024. Okay, because we're gonna get to her running mate in a second, right? So it says dedicated to cutting through the political rhetoric to interact critical policy. Their backgrounds in housing gives them a unique perspective amongst presidential candidates, having seen, worked with, and built personal relationships with the most vulnerable in our society. Their goal, put simply, is to simplify common sense policies and a penchant for pettiness make them ideal for the current political climate, one in which both style and substance are sorely lacking. Jasmine believes the promise of America has not been yet fulfilled. Jasmine and her cadre of like-minded partners are ready to lead this country to a better future, one that works for all. Political views. Jasmine Sherman wants to help the at-risk and vulnerable communities by providing guaranteed housing, land back, universal basic income, free education, and universal health care for all. They also believe in the rights of the child, rights of gender affirming care. See, no, hell no. They know no. Okay? No. I don't like that. Ending the disability restrictions, restorative justice, abolishing the police. I don't know about that neither. Abolishing prisons. I don't know about that either. Triple bottom line accountability for corporations, reparations, a progressive tax, an index living wage, immigration policy reform, sustainable energy, decriminalizing all drugs and sex works, age caps and term limitations for all elected officials, and rewriting the Constitution. So I mean, a lot of the stuff that she want to do, I kind of agree with, but I don't know about this gender affirming care and the kids get to decide what they use and what they ain't gonna. No, I don't know about all that. I don't know about that. You know what I'm saying? But everything else seems straight. Let's look at Tanda Blubear. This is the person that's gonna be running for her vice, or the person she chooses as her vice. Okay, it says where I come from. It says into the world of Tanda Blueberry, a formidable warrior hailing from the Pomo Nation. With a heart as fierce as her spirit, Tanda emerges as a beacon of empowerment for indigenous women across Turtle Island. From the depths of her ancestral roots, she draws strength, wisdom, and profound sense of duty to her community. Tanda's journey is not just one of personal triumph, but of collective resilience. With unwavering determination, she ventures into the heart of her people's struggle, wielding her heritage as a weapon against injustice. Whether battling systemic inequalities or preserving sacred traditions, Tanda stands as a guardian, catalyst for change. Her efforts extend far beyond the confines of her tribe, and she tirelessly advocates for the indigenous rights and amplifies the voices of her sisters throughout the land. Through her actions and words, she sparks awareness, igniting a flame of solidarity that illuminates the path forward. In the tapestry of Turtle Island, diverse cultures and traditions, Tanda Bluebear shines as a testament to the enduring strength of indigenous women, weaving threads of hope and resilience into the fabric of her people's legacy, a thriving career. Introducing Tanda Bluebear, the driving force behind Women with Bows, a dedicated team of indigenous warriors committed to elevating communities and preserving humanity, founded on principles of sustainability, compassion, and unity. Women with Bows embodies the spirit of decolonization and collective action with a focus on mutual aid, public speaking, and community support. They traverse the country, offering aid and security in times of need, from natural disasters to everyday struggles, whether it's providing food, winterizing homes, or empowering unhoused relatives. With fifth win sustainability training, Women with Bold stands ready to make a difference. Led by Tanda Bluebear, they are a beacon of hope and a catalyst for positive change in a world that desperately needs it. And this is your African American and your Native American POTUS and Vice POTUS diversity candidates for 2024. So, what y'all think? Yeah, she said some is good, but some say I'm talking about some of these dudes say are absolutely horrible, absolutely insane. But I think all of these candidates come with their nonsense because I ain't scrutinized. I didn't scrutinize Biden policies because I didn't care for Biden. Okay, I didn't want to hear nothing from Biden. Okay, but here we are. And everybody come with their tea. So hey, look, I don't know. I don't know because see, this sound like some of that stuff sound good, but when you start tipping into trying to tell parents how to rear their children, I kind of take personally, you can't tell parents how to raise their kids, and I don't like that's kind of because you gotta properly rear them children so they can be decent in society. And you got the government dictating that you can't. This is gonna be considered indoctrination, and we will find like y'all that's too much. But other than that, it seems like they got some decent stuff out here. Like I said, did I drop the link? I did. The link is in the chat. The link is also in the description box. I am actively working on trying to get an interview with her. You know what I'm saying? So we can see what is going on, and for all you political heads out there, y'all can answer all the questions that y'all want. But yeah, I thought y'all should know they are on 48 ballots out of the 50 states in the United States. So, hey, if you tired of a two-party system, hey, I don't know. Maybe get in on this grassroots organization here. This grassroots campaign is definitely different. I'm intrigued and frightened at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Cause woo, some of that stuff I'm like, whoa, that's too extreme for me. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Y'all leave y'all comments and all of that good stuff. And thank y'all for hanging out with me. We'll see y'all next time. Peace out.
I see the Mr. Queen sunk is over here to drop a line. Drop her rhymes are over here to now. I know you get the time. Get the time and get it on it. And you doing what you do. And the people better know that they better not mess with you. Cause you feel so fast they smoke. People want to smoke it though. Let me tell you other people say, oh yeah, she ain't no joke. Get you up, get around, turn around, I step you down. Now you talking about the people, now they tipping in the ground. Oh!